All right, family, we back again. Genesis number 7. Oh, that's y'all's perfect number. How about that, huh? We doing Genesis 7 on the 7th day. Let's do it. So this is basically going to be about, we still going to get some more information about Noah, about this flood, the judgment. We gonna figure out today what this flood means, what it means for us today. What does this flood symbolize for us today in 2024? What should we be doing in this time, in these trials and tribulations that the Most High has us in? What are we supposed to be doing as the quote unquote chosen people, as we say we are? Because as you can see, a lot of our people don't care to be chosen. They want to be hands in hand with all the heathen out there. They want to be hand in hand with everybody. They want everybody in the kingdom. They want everybody to come to the kingdom. This is what they want. They don't want to have Israelites on top. All they care about is bringing in Brad, bringing in Karen, bringing in Chung Lee and Jing Chong Ching and all these people. But I'm going to tell you, man, this thing is all about Israel. This flood, all of this in this chapter, I'm going to show you how it pertains to us. So without further ado, my brother, let's just start with the first verse.
Genesis 7.
7.
Genesis 7. And the Lord said unto Noah, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteousness before me in this generation.
All right, family. So we're about to dive into this Genesis 7 and 1. And I'm telling you, this ain't your grandmama's Sunday school lesson. No, sir. We're going to break this down line by line. And we're going to expose these heathen lies and uncover the truth that's been hiding in plain sight. So grab your Bibles and your sense of humor, because we're about to go on a wild ride. So we see, and the Lord said unto Noah, okay, listen up. This ain't no blonde hair, blue-eyed Noah they got in these books out there, these children books. No, sir. This is a bona fide melanated son of Adam. He looked like me. He looked like you. That we talking about. The Most High don't waste his time chatting with no imposters, family. He's speaking directly to his chosen people, just like he did with our father Abraham. If we go over to Genesis 12 in verse 1, just 5 more chapters over. Genesis 12 and 1. What does that say?
Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will shew thee.
So you see the pattern, family. The Most High calls his people out from among the wicked. It was true then, and it's true now. While these heathens are busy worshiping their false gods and chasing after worldly pleasures, the Most High is whispering in our ears, telling us to get ready for what's coming. And what is he telling us to get ready for? To come thou and all thy house into the ark. Now this right here, family, is where it gets juicy. This ark ain't just some big old boat. This is a symbol of salvation and separation. The Most High is telling Noah, look, bruh, this world is about to get flushed down the cosmic toilet. You better get your black behind in this ark if you want to survive. And let me tell you, family, it's no different today. While these heathens are out here building their empires of sand, thinking they're safe in their little bubbles of delusion, the Most High is calling us, to come into his ark of truth and righteousness. How do we know this? If we go to Revelation 18 and 4, y'all should know this scripture. Revelation 18 and 4, what is the Most High saying here?
And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
You hear that? Come out of her, my people. He's speaking to Israel. He ain't talking about everybody else. That's the same call Noah got. And it's the same call we're getting now. It's time to stop playing patty cake with Babylon, family, and get our minds right. Why? The last part of verse 1. For thee I seen righteous before me in this generation. You see this? This is where I'm going to have to burst some bubbles. All these fake, woke, pseudo-righteous Instagram prophets out there thinking you're special because you can quote 2 scriptures and do a headstand. Listen up. I'm talking to you. The Most High ain't impressed with your social media following or your fancy church titles. When he calls someone righteous, he's talking about someone who's walking the walk. Keyword, walking the walk. Not just talking the talk. Noah wasn't out here trying to compromise with the world or water down the truth to make it more palatable. He was standing firm in his convictions, family, even when the whole world thought he was crazy. If we go over to Psalm 14, 2 and 3, this tells it like it is. Again, that's Psalm 14, 2 and 3.
The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek God. They are all gone aside. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good. No, not one.
All are corrupt. That's what the Most High said. All are corrupt. But you see, in a world full of filth and wickedness, Noah stood out like a lighthouse in a storm. And let me tell you, my people, that's what we need to be doing today. While these Christian churches are out here preaching prosperity gospel and turning the Bible into some kind of self-help manual, we need to be standing firm on the truth. While these heathens are trying to convince us that we're all one big old happy family under their false god of diversity, we need to remember who we are and whose we are. The symbolism here is clear as day, family. Just as Noah and his family were saved from the flood, we, the true children of Israel, will be saved from the coming judgment. But don't get it twisted. This ain't no free ride. We got to be righteous in his sight, not in the eyes of this wicked world. So, my people, it's time to ask ourselves, are we building our own arcs of righteousness? Are we separating ourselves from the filth of this world? Or are we still trying to swim in the polluted waters of Babylon, hoping we won't drown? Remember, when the flood waters of judgment come, and trust me, they coming, there won't be no lifeguards on duty, family. It's either in the ark or in the water. And I don't know about you, but I can't swim that long, family. So you better wake up. You better stand up. You better get in this ark of truth before it's too late. Why? Because the Most High is calling his people home. And he ain't sending no Uber. It's time for us to start walking, family. It's time for us to start doing what we said we gonna do. Don't talk about it, be about it. This is what the message is in this first verse. Walk, 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 walk. Not talk, walk. Doers of the word, not just hearers only, as our brother James says. This is what we must do as a people. No more just sitting idly by and just watching everything from the sidelines. You got to walk. You got to get in the game. The Most High calling your number. Or you going to get in the game or you going to stay on the bench? What you going to do? But let's get some more understanding, family. Let's go on to the next two verses, 2 and 3 here in Genesis 7, so we can see more what the Most High trying to get us to understand here.
Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of the beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. Of fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth.
Right, so let's dissect this spiritual buffet right quick, item by item here. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female. Now hold up before you start thinking this is some kind of ancient Noah's Ark pet and zoo. Let's get one thing straight. The Most High ain't running no wildlife preservation program here, family. This is about clean beasts, y'all. And what is a clean beast, you ask? Well, it ain't that pig you've been sneaking in church barbecue. I'll tell you that much. If we go over to Leviticus 11 and 3, it lays it out about that pig and that swine our people been eating, and all these other heathen who say the food laws, dietary laws done away with. What the Most High say about this pig, brother? Leviticus 11 and 3.
Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat.
That is what he's talking about. That needs to meet those qualifications in order for you to eat it. So the Most High right here was teaching Noah and us, if we reading this right now in 2024, about separation and holiness long before he gave the law to Moses. He's already teaching us about that right here, family, in Genesis. Moses is way down the line, but he's already teaching us here about the law, the dietary law. He's saying, look here, Noah, I want you to preserve what's clean and holy, not just any old animal that crawls, flies, or swims. And let me tell you, this principle still applies today. While these heathens and our people, the wicked ones, are out here filling their minds with every kind of spiritual and moral filth, we, righteous remnant, we need to be carefully selecting what we allow into our arks, which is our minds and our hearts. We need to be taking in the clean, the holy, the righteous by sevens. That means complete and perfect absorption of truth, not just a little dab here and there. That's what the Most High is saying. That's why he put the sevens in there. He wants you to completely and perfectly absorb this truth that I'm giving to you today. That's all over this book. Not just take what you want and then throw away the rest. He said he wants you to absorb it all. You got to be like a bounty napkin. You got to absorb it all. In the next part, and of beasts that are not clean by two, the male and his female. So now we got the beasts who are not clean. So the Most High ain't saying these unclean beasts are worthless, though. They still have a purpose, but they ain't meant for consumption or sacrifice. It's like that one cousin of yours who always shows up to the family reunion smelling like he bathed in Hennessy. You love him, but you ain't about to let him lead the prayer. So this is a powerful lesson about discernment, family. In this world, not everything is meant for our spiritual consumption. Some things we need to keep at arm's length. Recognize their existence, but not let them multiply in our lives. And if we go to Proverbs 14:7, Solomon drops this truth bomb right here. Again, that's Proverbs 14:7.
Go from the presence of a foolish man when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge.
Most High saying, stay away from fools or you won't learn a thing. You won't learn a thing. You see, we acknowledge the fool exists, but we don't set up shop in his house of ignorance. You see what I'm saying? You get it now? You understand it? This is what the Most High is trying to convey here. And so now he talks about the fowls of the air by sevens, the male and the female. Now, why is the Most High so fixated on birds? Is he trying to start the world's first KFC? No. This is about perspective and elevation, because the bird's in the air, right? These fowls of the air, they represent our ability to rise above the floodwaters of this world's wickedness. That's what the Most High, he wants you to elevate. He's trying to get you to elevate if you stop fighting him. He wants to elevate you above all this wickedness and nonsense that's going on. That's what he's doing in your life. Do not fight it. Let him lead you and elevate you out of this darkness, out of this filth that we're in right now. So while everyone else is drowning in sin and ignorance, we need to be soaring high, getting that bird's eye view of the truth. And if we go to our homeboy, Isaiah, chapter 40:31, he paints this picture beautifully. Again, that's Isaiah 40 and verse 31. Whenever you're ready, brother.
But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint.
You feel me? We're called to be high flyers in the spirit, not ground-dwelling turkeys pecking at the crumbs of this world's table. The Most High wants you above. Remember, he said he's going to place us above all nations. If we hearken to his word, he's going to place you above. But you need to get there first. You need to be elevated in the spirit first. You can't elevate somebody that's on the ground, who's more concerned about the Instagram followers than his word. You have to renew your mind. If you want to be elevated by the Most High Yah, you got to change the way you think. You got to change the things you do, the way you speak, all of it, in order for the Most High to deal with you. That's why you see it in Isaiah 40:31. He said, but those who trust the Lord, you got to trust him first. You can't deny him. You can't call him a sky daddy like most of our people do. You got to acknowledge he exists, and you got to believe that he exists, and you got to believe that you are Israel and that he is your God. When you do that, you will find a new strength and he will mount you up. You will soar like eagles. So the Most High is saving all these things here. Why? To keep seed alive upon all the face of the earth. But what does this mean here? This right here is the punchline, family. The spiritual mic drop, if you will. The Most High ain't just playing animal rescue. He's ensuring the continuation of life, the preservation of his creation. And let me tell you, we, the true children of Israel, are that seed he's trying to keep alive, family. We're the ones chosen to keep the truth alive in a world drowning in lies. While these fake Jews out there trying to claim our birthright and these Christians are busy turning the Bible into a prosperity manual, we're the ones tasked with preserving the true seed of faith. And if we go over to Romans 9:27, our brother Paul hits us with this sobering truth right here. Again, that is Romans chapter 9 and verse 27.
Esaias also crieth concerning Israel. The number of the children of Israel be as the sand of the sea. A remnant shall be saved.
Only a few. There's many Israelites on this earth, but the Most High only concerned with a few. Just like I showed you in Genesis 5, how the Most High was only concerned with that specific seed line. Not all the daughters and sons of all those other patriarchs. He was only concerned with one person. And that's the same way the Most High is with us. There's many Israelites out there, but he only concerned with a few. The question is, are you one of that few? So you hear that, a remnant, that's us. We're the seed that the Most High is preserving through the floodwaters of this wicked world system. So what's the takeaway from all this, you ask? Simple. We need to be filling our spiritual arcs with what's clean and holy, keeping the unclean at a safe distance, elevating our perspective, and recognizing our role as the preservers of truth in this world. While the heathens are out here trying to make everyone hold hands and sing Kumbaya, we need to remember that we're called to be separate, to be holy, to be that seed that will repopulate the earth with righteousness when the waters of judgment recede. So family, are you ready to be that clean beast, that high-flying fowl, that preserved seed? Or are you still splashing around in the kiddie pool of compromise, hoping the flood won't reach you? Wake up, dry off, and get in the ark. The waters, family, are rising. All you gotta do is look around. All you gotta do is look around, family. It's crumbling. These waters are rising. And I don't see no life jackets being handed out in Babylon, family. They want you to fail. They want you to go under with them. They don't care. They'll keep you away from the Most High. Only you can escape them and rise above these waters and be preserved like Noah and his family. So as we continue to move on here, we go to verses 4 and 5 of Genesis 7. I hope this is starting to make sense. Hope you guys are seeing the significance of our people in these verses. Verses 4 and 5, brother.
For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living substance that I have made, I will destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according unto all that the Lord commanded him.
Yes, sir. All praises. So let's break this down, drop by drop. For yet 7 days. Before you start thinking this is some kind of ancient weather forecast, let's get one thing straight. The Most High ain't running no meteorology department here. This 7 days business is all about completion and perfection. You see 7 in the Bible is like the Swiss Army knife of numbers. It does everything. It represents divine completion. It's like the Most High is saying, I'm giving y'all one more complete cycle to get your act together before I flush this toilet of a world. And let me tell you, family, we're in a similar situation today. While these heathens are out here partying like it's 1999, and some of y'all are joining them, I see you. The Most High is ticking down the clock on this wicked world system. Just like we read last week. If we go over to 2 Peter 3, 8 and 9, Peter drops this truth bomb on you about this clock ticking down. Again, that is 2 Peter chapter 3, verses 8 and 9. Whenever you're ready, brother.
But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is one day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us ward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
You hear that? The Most High is patient, family. He ain't going to wait forever, though. So stop hitting the snooze button on your spiritual alarm clock and wake up and follow this thing, because you don't know what tomorrow brings for you. Remember, you got to work out your salvation. This is what you got to do as an Israelite. You got to work out your salvation. And when you work out your salvation, all will be well with you. So the Most High says, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Now, this right here is where it gets real juicy. 40 in the Bible ain't just a number, family. It's a spiritual boot camp. Moses was on the mountain for 40 days. The Israelites wandered for 40 years, and Jesus fasted for 40 days. It's a time of testing, a time of purification, and a time of transformation. The Most High is saying, I'm about to end this world. I'm about to put this world through the spiritual washing machine, and I'm using the heavy-duty cycle. And let me tell you, family, we're in our own 40-day storm right now. While these pseudo-Christians are praying for their best life now, we're being purified through trials and tribulations. If we go over to our brother Peter again, 1 Peter 4, 12 and 13, he tells it like it is right here. Again, that will be 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 12 and 13.
Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you. But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Christ's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
He's telling you to be glad for the chance to suffer as Christ suffered, because he's preparing us for this greater happiness. So Israel, stop complaining about your rain and start seeing it as your spiritual shower. The Most High cleansing you. He's trying you. He's purifying you. He's renewing you. He's turning you into that spotless bride that we see out there in Revelation 19. He's trying to get you there. Don't be like a dog and be scared to take that bath, or a cat who's scared of the water. Embrace the water, embrace the rain, embrace the trial and the tribulations, because the Most High is working it out for your own good. So the Most High continues and says, and every living substance I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. Now, before you start thinking the Most High's got anger management issues, let's get some straight. This ain't about destruction for destruction's sake. This is about cleansing. This is about purifying and starting fresh. It's like when your mama used to say she was going to tear this room apart when it got too messy. She wasn't really going to demolish your family. She was going to clean it thoroughly. And let me tell you, this world is messier than a toddler's room after a sugar high. It needs a good cleaning. And we, the true Israel, need to be ready for the spiritual spring cleaning that's coming. And if we go over to Malachi 3, 2 and 3, let's see what this spring cleaning looks like. Again, that is the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 2 and 3.
But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire and like a fuller's soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness.
So Malachi is saying it over in modern terms, says, on the day the Lord comes, he will be like a furnace that purifies silver or like strong soap in a wash basin. No one will be able to stand up to him. The Lord will purify the descendants of Levi as though they were gold or silver. Then they will bring the proper offerings to the Lord. See, he got to clean you first. That's what he's doing right now, family. That's why you're going through all this mess. That's why we as a people going through all this mess. He's trying to clean us from all the filth that we've been rolling around in all these centuries. He's cleaning us up because we've been around all these dirty beasts of the field, these other nations, and we've grown dirty, and he's trying to clean us up. But a lot of us are fighting the cleaning. They want to be dirty still. Don't fight the cleaning, family. Allow him to do what he has to do. We're about to go through the spiritual car wash, family. And it ain't going to be no touchless service. Oh, you're going to get wet. You're going to get hands-on. The Most High going to get hands-on with you. You're going to go through some things, ups and downs, hills and valleys. But guess what? At the end, you're going to be clean and able to stand before him. And the next part here, and Noah did all according unto all that the Most High has commanded him. That's the key right here. This is the cherry on top of this spiritual Sunday, family. Noah didn't argue, didn't negotiate, didn't try to water down the message to make it more pleasant for the masses. He just did what he was told. And let me tell you, that's exactly what we need to be doing today. While these lukewarm Christians out here trying to make the Bible fit their lifestyle, we need to be changing our lives to fit the Bible. We have to be doers of the word and not hearers only, because you're going to deceive your own self. You got to stop being spiritual couch potatoes and start being spiritual athletes. You got to get out there and work, family. The Most High wants you to work. You don't work, you don't eat. So what's the hidden message in all of this? Simple. The Most High is patient, but judgment is coming. We're in a time now of purification and testing as a people. The old corrupt system is about to be washed away, and we need to be like Noah, obedient, prepared, and ready to enter a new world. While these heathens are out here building their sandcastles on the beach of life, we need to be constructing our own spiritual arcs, as I said. Because when the flood waters of judgment start rising, I guarantee you, there won't be no inflatable pool toys of compromise to save you. So you got to wake up, Israel. You got to get ready and start being doers of the word. The spiritual storm is brewing, family. Just look around. And I don't see no umbrellas being handed out in Babylon. Are you ready for this? The Most High is trying to prepare you for this. Are you allowing him to do it? Or are you turning your nose up at him? Because I tell you, when it comes, when the floodgates come, there's no more trying to repent on that day. That's it. You gone, washed away into nothingness. So you better get ready now. I say now, as in right now. You better start renewing your mind today while you got breath in your nostrils. Or else you're going to end up like all them people who got destroyed in the flood. So we keep it moving in verses 6 and 7 of Genesis 7. Hope it's making sense. I'm putting the puzzle pieces together for y'all.
And Noah was 600 years old when the floodwaters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him into the ark because of the waters of the flood.
So let's break down this divine deluge. Drop by sanctified drop. Noah was 600 years old. This ain't about literal age, family. This is about spiritual maturity and completion. 600 is like the spiritual jackpot of numbers. You got your 6, which is man's number, because that's when man was created, on the 6th day. Multiply by 100, which is the fullness and completion. You may ask, how does a 100 mean fullness and completion? Well, I'm glad you asked, family. Let's go ahead and see. So let me hit you with some scriptural evidence before you start thinking I'm pulling numbers out of thin air like some pseudo Hebrew charlatan. No, sir. Watch this. Abraham was 100 years old when Isaac, the child of promise, was born. And we can read that if we want to go to Genesis 21:5. So you know I ain't making nothing up. Genesis 21:5 to see this.
And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him.
So the Most High waited until Abraham hit that century mark before fulfilling his promise. Coincidence? I think not. You also got the parable of the 100 sheep that Yahusha taught about in Luke 15:3-7. Let's go read that real quick. Luke 15:3-7. So y'all can see the significance here.
And he spake this parable unto them, saying, What man of you, having 100 sheep, if he lose one of them, doth not leave the 99 in the wilderness, and go after that which is lost until he find it? And when he hath found it, he layeth it on his shoulders, rejoicing. And when he cometh home, he called together his friends and neighbors, saying unto them, Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost. I say unto you that likewise joy shall be in heaven over one sinner that repenteth, more than over 90 and 9 just persons which need no repentance.
So the shepherd, that's him, ain't satisfied until he's got all 100. 99 just won't cut it, family. That's fullness, baby. You got the parable of the sower. Let's go read Matthew 13:8. Matthew 13:8. That's got a 100 in there. What is it, though?
But other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit. Some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold.
So the good soil produces 100-fold return. That's maximum yield, full productivity. See that fullness? And let's not forget, Sarah lived to be exactly 127. That's 100 plus 27. The Most High gave her a full century plus some change. Now I know what you're thinking. But Will, why isn't 1,000 the number of fullness? Well, let me tell you, 1,000 is often used to represent an immensely large, almost infinite number, as we saw with 1,000 years. Or 1,000 years equal a day that we read earlier. 1,000 is often used, as I said, for an immensely large, almost infinite number. Like when your mama says, I told you 1,000 times to clean your room, she doesn't mean literally 1,000, she means a lot. But 100 here, that's a number you can wrap your head around. It's complete, it's full, but it's not overwhelming. It's like the Most High is saying, I'm giving you fullness you can handle, not fullness that'll blow your mind. So next time you see that number 100, family, remember, it ain't just about getting a perfect score on your test or the number of likes you're chasing on your latest Instagram post. It's about divine fullness and completion. It's about the Most High saying this right here, this is the full package deal. So are you going to settle for 50% effort in your spiritual walk, or are you going to push for that 100% fullness the Most High has for you? Remember, the choice is yours, but remember, half-stepping in this kingdom walk will have you looking like you're doing the electric slide at a funeral, out of place and embarrassing yourself. So let's go back to these verses. That's what the 600, that's what the 100 means. The Most High is saying, Noah's reached peak spiritual manhood. He's fully cooked and ready to serve. And let me tell you, we need to be reaching for that same level of spiritual maturity today, family. While these milk-drinking Christians out here still stuck on Jesus loves me, we need to be feasting on the meat of the word. Hebrews 5:14 drops this truth bomb on you. Again, that is the book of Hebrews, chapter 5, and verse number 14.
But strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil.
Modern terms, solid food is for mature people who have been trained to know right from wrong. See, but you got to get to this part first before you get the solid food. You got to get on the milk, but that's why I say you have to grow so you can take this solid food, this meat of the word that I'm giving you today. You won't be able to understand it until you get to this point. That's why you study. That's why you read the book. That's why you pray the Most High for wisdom, knowledge, understanding, so you can understand, so you can get this, so you can get to this point where Noah reached. So the Most High is telling you to stop being spiritual babies and start being spiritual bodybuilders instead. It's time to flex those faith muscles. So now we got when the flood waters was upon the earth. But this ain't just talking about no oversized swimming pool. My family, this flood represents judgment, purification, and the washing away of wickedness. The Most High has decided to give the earth a spiritual bath, and he ain't using no gentle baby soap, family. And let me be the first to tell you, we're in the middle of our own spiritual flood right now. While these heathens are drowning in their own sins, thinking they're just taking a relaxing dip, we need to be building our arcs of righteousness. And if we go again to our brother Isaiah 59:19, he's going to paint this picture for you very clearly. Again, that is Isaiah chapter 59, verses 19.
So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
You see this, family? When the floods of wickedness rise, we need to be rising higher. As I said earlier, we got to elevate above these waters. So now you got Noah. He's going in with his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him into this ark. Now here's the meat of this verse. Noah didn't just save himself. He brought his whole family with him. And no, this ain't about nepotism, about saving your favorites because they his sons' people. This is about generational salvation and family legacy. While these modern day Pharisees are out here building their mega churches and prosperity empires, we need to be focusing on saving our families from the flood of this wicked world system. And if we go to our brother Joshua in chapter 24, verse 15, he lays it out plain right here. What does Joshua say, brother? Again, that's Joshua 24:15.
And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
You hear that? It's time to make a family decision. Are you going to let your kids drown in the cesspool of this world's education system? Or are you going to bring them into the ark of truth? Remember, your kids are a reward. They're a blessing. Treat them as such. Teach them this truth. So when they grow up and they have kids, they can teach them the truth. And it keeps going on and on from there. This is what it's about. Never too old, never too young to listen to the word of the Most High Yah. Never. As we continue, because of the waters of the flood. So Noah didn't enter the ark because he was scared of a little rain. He entered because what? He had faith in the word of the Most High. He saw what was coming before it arrived. And that's exactly what we need to be doing today. While these spiritual sleepwalkers are out here living like everything's going to stay the same forever, we need to be preparing for the flood that's coming. And if we go to our brother Amos, chapter 3 and verse 7, he drops this knowledge right here. Again, that is our brother Amos. chapter 3, verse 7.
Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
You see this? The Most High is showing us what's coming, but are we paying attention? Or are we too busy watching World Star and chasing after the latest fashion trends? So what's the hidden message, fam? Spiritual maturity is crucial. Judgment is coming, but so is salvation for those who are what? Prepared. We need to be focusing on saving our families and entering the ark of truth before the floods of wickedness overtake us. While these lost sheep are out here building their sandcastles, thinking they're safe because they go to church once a week, we need to be constructing our spiritual arks, as I keep saying. Because when the flood waters of judgment start rising, family, I guarantee you there won't be no lifeguard on duty. Nobody here to save your family. It's just going to be you and the judgment, face to face, and you will be consumed and swallowed up for all eternity. So again, I tell you to wake up, grow up spiritually, stop drinking on the milk, progress towards the meat, and start building that ark. The storm clouds are gathering, family, and I don't see no spiritual umbrella big enough to keep you dry when this deluge hits. It's time to get into the ark or get ready to doggy paddle for eternity. And I don't want you guys to be part of that crew. So take heed of my words today. Take heed of my warnings that I give you, or else you will end up in outer darkness. So as we keep it moving, where we at now? 8 and 9. 8 and 9 of Genesis 7, family.
Of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in two and two unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah.
Again, so let's break this divine menagerie down, creature by creature. Of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean. Again, the Most High is doing the exact same thing. He's showing you about the separation of the righteous from the unrighteous. This ain't about literal animals, family. He's showing you deeper. Separation, again. He's showing us that even in judgment, he's making a distinction. It's like he's saying, I'm saving some for the barbecue and some for the pet and zoo, if you know what I mean. That's what he's doing. They all have a purpose. And we need to be making the same distinctions today while these lukewarm Christians out there again are out here trying to mix the holy with the profane. We need to be separating ourselves from the unclean. Our brother Paul in 2 Corinthians 6 and 17, he drops this nugget right here of what we need to be doing today in 2024 amidst all the wickedness. Again, that 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17. Y'all should know this verse by now.
Wherefore come out among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you.
You hear that? That's as clear as can be. Most High telling you to stop trying to be best friends with Babylon and start being besties with righteousness. So we move on to these fowls and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. So the Most High ain't just saving the cute and cuddly. He's saving the birds of the air and the creepy crawlies too. He said all God's creatures got a place in this quiet family. But let me tell you this. Let me give you the symbology behind it. The clean beasts and the beasts that are not clean, going back up. This is about the separation of Israel from the nations. Oh, goodness. The clean beasts represent our people, set apart and holy unto the Most High. The unclean, that's the other nations, wallowing in their uncircumcised, pork-eating ways. How do we know? Leviticus 20 and 26 backs this up, family. So let's read that. Leviticus 20 and 26.
And ye shall be holy unto me, for I am the Lord, am holy. I have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine.
So you see that? Right there, family. The Most High has been in the business of separation since day one. He's not about that melting pot life. He's about that set apart lifestyle. Do y'all understand? Do y'all see? It's all here. This is what the Most High is trying to get you to understand. Get out from among these people. They don't have your best interest, no matter what they say. Stay away from them. The Most High wants you to be separate for a reason. And so you see of the fowls and of everything that creepeth upon the earth here. This ain't about literal birds and bugs. Yes, this happened. But the meaning behind it, the symbology, is the fowls represents those Israelites who've been scattered to the winds, living high and mighty in foreign lands, as you see a whole lot of us, these celebrities. They living high and mighty. The creeping things, that's our people who've been brought low, crawling in the dust of oppression in slavery. Let's read about it. Deuteronomy 28:43. Again, that's Deuteronomy 28:43. It warned us about this.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Now, see that? Down low. But guess what? The Most High is saving all of us. The high and the low, the dispersed and the oppressed. He ain't leaving no Israelite behind. You repent, he got you. You're coming into the ark. Don't matter where you at in life. You repent and come back to the Most High Yah, you got a place in this ark. This spiritual ark that we're talking about. But watch this. Next part. There went into unto Noah in the ark. Watch this, family. This 2 and 2 business is not about Noah's Ark nursery rhyme here. It's about the what? Duality of our nation. The 2 kingdoms of Israel. Remember the split after Solomon? Most people forget about it. Judah and Israel, 2 kingdoms, but 1 people. 2 by 2, they're coming in. And one of my favorite scriptures, Ezekiel 37 and 22, prophesies about this reunion. What does it say, brother? Ezekiel 37 and 22.
And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more 2 nations, neither shall they be divided into 2 kingdoms any more at all.
Family, this ark that we're talking about in this chapter represents our future redemption and reunification. We going in as 2, but we coming out as 1 united Israel. Drop the mic. This is what this whole thing's about. Restoring Israel from 2 nations back into 1. This is what this whole thing's about, family. Reunification. The Most High was showing you over here in Genesis 7. He was showing you in Genesis 7. We weren't even a thing yet, but he was showing you. He was foreshadowing this. So the next part, the male and the female, as God had commanded Noah. This ain't about gender studies. No, this is about the completeness of Israel, both the strength of our men and the nurturing power of our women. We need both. I repeat, we need both to build a nation, family. Isaiah 51 and 2 reminds us. Again, that is Isaiah chapter 51 and verse number 2.
Look unto Abraham your father and unto Sarah that bare you. For I called him alone and blessed him and increased him.
The Most High's plan for Israel involves both our men and women. Can't build a nation with just one or the other, family. So what's the real message here? It's about the preservation and reunification of Israel. The Most High is showing us that in the midst of judgment, the flood, he's preserving a remnant of his people, clean and unclean, righteous and sinners, high and low, dispersed and oppressed, from both kingdoms, Judah and Israel, men and women. While these spiritual blind pastors are out here trying to turn Noah's Ark into some universal salvation cruise ship, we need to recognize it for what it is, a type and a shadow of Israel's preservation and future redemption. Wake up, Israel. Stop trying to board everyone else's ships and recognize the ark that the Most High has prepared for us. When the floods of tribulation come, you better make sure you're on the right boat, because I guarantee you there ain't no life rafts for those who have rejected their heritage and birthright. It's time to come together as one people, leave behind the ways of the nations, and get ready for our redemption. The waters are rising. The ark door is closing, family. And I don't see no swimming lessons being offered in Babylon's pool of destruction. So remember this, family. We went in as slaves, but we're coming out as kings and priests unto our God. Now, who's ready to build this ark of truth and righteousness? Y'all hands better be raised, if you know what I'm saying. You got to get to work, though. Can't be lazy. Noah wasn't lazy. He built this ark. You got to build your ark, too. Nobody can build it for you. Time to get those hands dirty. That's what the Most High is trying to tell you. You don't want to be left behind. Trust me, you don't. So let's get some more. Let's get some more understanding here about our people. In 10 and 11, Genesis 7.
And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened.
So let's break this divine downpour down right here. So tighten up those spiritual life jackets, family. We're about to make some waves. Y'all like my puns? I love my puns. And it came to pass after 7 days. There's 7 days, family, dripping with symbolism again about Israel's journey. 7, as we all know, as I said earlier, represents completion and covenant. The Most High is saying, I'm about to complete this judgment cycle. Remember Leviticus 26 and 18? Let's go read that real quick. Again, it's Leviticus 26 and 18 about this 7.
If ye will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times more for your sins.
Question is, Israel, how many 7 days have we gone through in our disobedience? Are we ready for the flood of redemption, or are we still building sandcastles in Babylon? Are you? Which one are you? Which one are you, family? Keep it moving. That the waters of the flood were upon the earth. These waters here, what are these waters? These ain't just any waters, family. This is judgment coming down harder than hell on Egypt. But for Israel, water also represents cleansing and renewal. How do we know this? Let's go to our brother Ezekiel again. We read chapter 36 and verse 25. Again, that is Ezekiel 36 and 25. Check it.
Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you.
So I ask you, are you ready for the cleansing flood, or are we still clinging to the filthy rags of this world system? The Most High ready to clean you. He want to clean you. Are you going to let him clean you, or are you going to continue to fight and stay dirty amongst the filth of this sin and wickedness in this world system today? You got to make a choice. You can't just keep coming in and out of the water. You got to stay in the water, or stay your behind out there. He will spew you out if you lukewarm. Don't play around with him. He ain't your friend off the streets. You got to make a choice, whether you want to be clean or whether you want to be dirty. Again, we're back in the 600 year of Noah's life. That 600 making it its way again. As I told you, 6 represents that man in human weakness. But we multiply that by 100, that's that divine completion that we already went over. And you've got the perfect storm of what? Human frailty meeting divine judgment. Because what does the Most High say? Remind us in Isaiah 55 and 8 and 9. We should all know this one by heart by now. Isaiah 55, 8 and 9.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
So here's a thought for you guys to chew on right here. How often do we try to understand the Most High's timeline with our limited human understanding? Are we patient enough? Keyword patient. Are we patient enough to wait for his perfect timing, or are we out here trying to microwave our redemption? Which one are you? Do you have patience? Because I told you before, the Most High do not work on your plan, on your timing. You can say, oh, I got plans to do this week. The Most High says no. So are you going to wait on the Lord, or are you going to try to what? Do your own thing? Because I can guarantee you ain't going to win. You have to be obedient. You got to be patient, just like Noah. Just like Noah. So this happened here in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month. So what's significant about this 2nd month here? In the Hebrew calendar, this corresponds to the month of Sheshvan, often called the bitter month. Why? Because it has no holidays. But it's also the month Noah entered the ark. Why? If we go to Ecclesiastes 3 and 1, Solomon tells you this here. Again, that is Ecclesiastes 3 and 1.
To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
So I've got to ask you, are we discerning the seasons of the Most High? Or are we too busy celebrating the world's holidays to notice when he's calling us to enter his ark of safety? Because most of our people, if you look around, they don't care about the Most High's days or his months or how his months are. They don't care. They follow Babylon. They love Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, Easter, St. Patrick's Day. We're not even Irish, but yet we celebrate. Cinco de Mayo. All these different things out here. Independence Day. We wasn't even independent on that day. But this is what we celebrate. So how will you ever be able to discern the seasons? How will you ever be able to know when it's time to prepare if you're always worrying about this wickedness of the world? The Most High may be calling you to start building your ark right now, and you can't even hear him because you are all concerned about everything in the world. He could be whispering in your ear right now, but you can't hear him because you got Babylon stereo turned all the way up. So on this same day that Noah entered the ark, on that 2nd month and 17th day of the month, all the fountains of the deep broke up and the windows of heaven were open. This ain't just about some rain and underground springs, family. This is the Most High unleashing judgment from above and below. He's saying, I'm about to clean house, and I'm using the pressure washer on both ends. If we go to our brother Amos 9, 2 and 3, he warns us here in these verses. What does he warn? Again, that is Amos chapter 9, verses 2 and 3.
Though they dig into hell, then shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them.
The question that should be keeping us up at night, fam. Where are we hiding? Are we trying to escape the Most High's cleansing in the depths of this world system? Or are we floating safely in his ark of covenant? So let's connect all these drops to form the flood of understanding here. The passage here is showing us the precision and totality of the Most High's judgment and cleansing of the earth. But for us, Israel, it's a prophetic picture of our coming redemption. The flood waters that destroyed the wicked also lifted Noah's ark to safety. Just like in Noah's day, the Most High is preparing to judge this wicked world system we in today. But he's also preparing an ark for his people Israel. The question is, are we building according to his instructions, or are we still partying with the Babylonians? Remember, fam, when the flood of tribulation comes, there won't be no doggy paddling to safety or calling Uber for a rescue boat. You're either on the ark or you're underwater. It's time for us to recognize the season we're in, enter the ark of covenant, and prepare for the cleansing flood that's going to wash away our captivity and restore us as a nation. The waters are rising. The fountains of the deep are rumbling, family. And the windows of heaven are creaking open. I'm telling you, it's time to get right or get left. So Israel, are you ready to float in faith? Or are you going to sink with the systems of this world? The choice is yours, but remember, in the Most High's cleanup operation, there's no middle ground. You're either in the ark or in the flood. So again, I tell you to wake up, dry clean your garments of righteousness, and let's start building this ark of truth and covenant. The forecast is calling for a 100% chance of redemption with the high probability of kingdom restoration. Don't get left behind in the rising tides of judgment, family. It ain't going to be pretty for you. It's going to be a whole lot of dead people. Just like that dude Joel Osment said in that Sixth Sense movie. I see dead people. I see dead people. That's what you're going to be seeing. There's going to be a whole lot of dead people around here. Don't be one of them, family. Be safe in this ark, this spiritual ark that the Most High wants you to be in. He's calling you to build it. He's calling you to get inside of it. Are you going to listen to him, or are you going to continue to do what Babylon tells you to do? The Most High, drawing the line again. You either with me or you're not with me. Nothing in the middle. You got to choose a side. Which one are you? So as we continue to move down Genesis 7, I truly hope, family, the puzzle pieces are coming together. By the end of this lesson, you will see the full picture of what the Most High is trying to get you to understand in this 7th chapter of Genesis. We move on to verse 12 and 13, brother. Whenever you are ready.
And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the selfsame day entered Noah, and Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them, into the ark.
The rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. Is that 40 again? We already know what it means. Testing, trial, purification. You can read more about that in Deuteronomy 8 and 2. Again, that's Deuteronomy 8 and 2. What does that say, brother?
And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldst keep his commandments or no.
So let me ask this to you. How long have we, Israel, been in our 40 days and 40 nights of spiritual rain? Are we using this time of trial to purify ourselves? Or are we just complaining about getting wet? I see a lot of complaining. I see a lot. Instead of just doing it, what the Most High is telling us to do, prepare, we rather complain instead of do. Noah did not complain when the Most High told him to build this ark. He went straight to it. He had the faith. Do you have the same faith as Noah? If not, you better get to working. This is what it's about. So in the self-same day, enter Noah. Self-same day. The Most High ain't playing around with these precise timings, family. This is about divine appointments and perfect timing. When the Most High says move, you better be ready to move faster than the Red Sea parting. Our brother Solomon has more of this to say in Ecclesiastes 3 and 11. Again, that's Ecclesiastes 3 and 11.
He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end.
Solomon is saying God makes everything happen at the right time. Yet, none of us can ever fully understand all he has done, and we can't, no matter how much we try. All we're going to have is questions. We all going to have questions. We don't know what he's doing. We don't know how he do it, but he always does it. And it always works out for our own benefit. You just got to trust that he's doing that. Yeah, you may be in financial trouble, but guess what? The Most High doing that for a reason. You may have other issues in your life, jobs, or whatever else it is, but those are testing you to become the version that he wants you to be. You got to have faith that whatever he's doing in your life is going to lead to your benefit. No matter how troubling it looks, you got to be faithful, obedient, but most importantly of all, patient. So here's a thought again, another one for you to chew. Are we attuned to the Most High's times? Or are we on Babylonian Standard Time? When he says enter the ark, will we be ready? Or will we be asking for a rain check? Those are pretty good questions to ask. Are you going to be ready when the Most High say, hey, it's time? Or are you going to say, ooh, I'm not ready yet. Ooh, I gotta do some more stuff over here. Are you ready? This is what the Most High is trying to get y'all to understand. Are you ready, family? Whenever the Most High says, I'm ready, are you going to be ready? Let's go over to Luke 9, 61 and 62 to show you what happens if you're not ready. Again, that's Luke 9, 61 and 62. What does Jesus say here?
And another also said, Lord, I will follow thee. But let me first go bid them farewell, which are at my home, at my house. And Jesus said unto him, no man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God.
Let me put that in 2024 terms for you. 61 says, then someone said to Jesus, I want to go with you, Lord. I want to go with you. But first, let me go back and take care of some things at home. Jesus said anyone who starts plowing and keeps looking back isn't worth a thing to God's kingdom. Do you hear that, family? No excuses. He said you ain't worth a thing. What happened to Lot's wife when she looked back? Poof, pillar of salt, gone. When the Most High says work, that's what you do. You put your head down, you keep your eyes forward. Don't look back at your life. You keep working. Head down, eyes forward. This is serious stuff. This walk is not for babies. This walk is for serious people who are about the Most High Yah. You can't keep caring about the things in this world. It's going to be a snare to you. It's going to grab you away and gravitate you away from the Most High. This is what Jesus said. I ain't saying this. This is what Jesus said. He said, you ain't fit for the kingdom. So family, again, will you be ready? Or are you going to be asking for a rain check like that man was saying that we just read about? So we got Shem, Ham, Japheth, sons of Noah. These three sons, family, represent the progenitors of the nations, but more importantly, they show us that salvation and preservation came through one family line. One. If we go to Acts 13 and 23, it reminds us here of this. Again, that's Acts 13 and 23.
Of this man's seed hath God, according to his promise, raised a Savior unto Israel, a Savior, Jesus.
Now, you're talking about David here in this particular verse, but where does David come from? Noah. He come from Noah. Yahushua come from Noah. That's what salvation coming out of. It come out of Noah. This man we read about today, that's what we came out of, family. We came out of this man right here, Noah. So the question is, are we recognizing our royal lineage, or are we out here trying to claim everybody else's family tree like a lot of these other people are doing? I used to do it too, before the truth. But I rep Israel now, Israel only. What are you doing out there, family? Are you doing the same? And it says, and Noah's wife and the three wives of his son with them. This is showing us the importance, again, of family. In times of judgment and deliverance, the Most High preserved family units, not just individuals. If we go again to Malachi 4 and 6, it prophesies here this very point that I just tried to make. Again, that's Malachi 4 and 6.
And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse.
So we ask, are our families united under the covenant? Or are we letting Babylon's dysfunction tear us apart? And so they go again into this ark, which I've showed you is a symbol of salvation, preservation and separation from the world system. The Most High is saying, I've got a VIP section for my people, my chosen people. And the balancer ain't letting just anybody in. 1 Peter 3 and 20 gives us this insight if we go and read that real quick. Again, that's 1 Peter 3 and 20. What does it say, brother?
Which sometimes were disobedient, when once the long suffering of God waited in the days of Noah, while the ark was a preparing, wherein few, that is, 8 souls were saved by water.
8 people. 8 people went into the boat. Out of all those people alive, we don't know how many people were on the earth that day. All those people that was alive, 8 people. What you think gonna happen this time? What do you think gonna happen this time? You think the Most High finna save everybody? Like these Christians keep on saying? Nope. A remnant. But you have to do the work to be a part of that remnant. This ain't no free ride. This ain't no free ride, man. Like a scholarship. No. You got to do some work. You got to study to show thyself approved. The Most High want to see some action. He don't want to see no wordplay. He want to see some action. A lot of us talk a good game, but are we doing what we say? That's the mark of a true Israelite in the eyes of the Most High, y'all. So here's the million shekel question. Are we building and entering our spiritual arc today? Today. Not tomorrow, today. Or are we too busy partying with the world to notice the rising waters? A lot of our people don't know. A lot of our people lost, family. They thinking they gonna live a nice, good life and all this stuff. They ain't gonna go through nothing, but the Most High got some plans for them that they don't even know about. The Most High rising the waters. Can you guys notice it? Are your spiritual antennas picking up on that frequency? Are you seeing it with your spiritual eyes? The rising waters, the coming turmoil. You see these people, they're getting anxious. They're getting anxious out here. Look at these people in this country, around the world. Look how anxious they get. Look at the protests. The people are fed up. Something's got to give, family. Are you prepared for when that happens? So let's put these pieces together like a divine jigsaw puzzle real quick. This passage is showing us the precise timing and selective nature of the Most High's salvation plan. Just like Noah and his family, Israel has been chosen for a special purpose to be preserved through judgment and to repopulate the earth with what? Righteousness. But here's the kicker. Just like in Noah's day, not everybody's getting a ticket on this ark. The Most High is calling his people to enter into covenant relationship, to separate from the world system and to prepare for a new world order, his kingdom order. We're living in times that are wetter than Pharaoh's army at the bottom of the Red Sea, family. And the reign of tribulation is just starting to fall. The question is, are we building our ark according to the Most High's specifications? Or are we trying to weather the storm in our own leaky canoes of worldly wisdom? Remember, fam, when this flood of judgment fully hits, there won't be no swimming lessons offered, no lifeguards on duty, and definitely no inflatable rafts from the dollar store of false religions. No, sir. You on your own, baby. You're either in the Ark of Covenant or you're going to be treading water in a sea of destruction. So it's time to gather our families, enter into his ark of promises, and prepare for the new world that's coming after this cleansing flood. The rain is falling, family. The waters are rising, and the ark door is creaking shut. I'm telling you, it's time to get in or get left behind. So Israel, are you ready to float in faith on the waters of tribulation? Or are you going to drown in the cesspools of this world system? The choice is yours. But again, I tell you, there is no middle ground. You're either high and dry in the ark or you're fish food in the flood. So again, wake up. I know I'm saying it a lot, but wake up. Grab your spiritual life vests and let's start building this ark of covenant obedience. The forecast is calling for 40 days and 40 nights of purification with a 100% chance of kingdom restoration on the other side, family. Don't get caught without your umbrella of faith when the real storm hits. And that is certain. A lot of people ain't gonna have these umbrellas. They finna get washed away. People in your family gonna get washed away. People you've known since high school and childhood gonna get washed away. But don't allow you and your family to be washed away. Don't allow you and your children to be washed away. Save them while they are alive today, because a lot of our children are dying, going missing all over the world. Why do you think that is? Because since you don't treasure him, the Most High just get rid of him. Seeing a whole lot of people, a lot of Israelites all over social media, they got missing kids everywhere, all over the place. They're becoming more and more increasing. You gonna treat your kid like a nuisance? Like they bother you? Fine, I'm gonna take them away from you. Cherish your kids. I ask you, cherish them. Because one day they may not be here. And then what you got? So teach them now about this truth. Get them ready to board this ark while they still have breath. And while you still have breath. I hope it's making sense, family. I hope you heed the warnings I'm putting out there, because this is certainly going to happen. I ain't making it up. It's going to happen again. So let's keep it moving. 14 and 15, brother. Genesis 7.
They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life.
So let's dissect this one right here. Creature by creature, like we did before. They and every beast after its kind. This ain't about some ancient Animal Planet episode, family. These beasts right here represent the diverse nature of our people, Israel. We've got all types of our nation, all types of beasts in our nation, from the mighty lions of Judah to the swift gazelles of Naphtali. Ezekiel reminds us of this if we go to Ezekiel 34 and 31. Again, that's Ezekiel 34 in verse 31.
34.
34.
And ye my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your God, saith the Lord God.
So let me ask you this. Are we recognizing the diversity within our own nation, or are we too busy trying to be carbon copies of our oppressors? Because we got a whole lot of our people trying to be like them. They're trying to be like us. We trying to be like them. We trying to talk like them, dress like them, look like them, all this stuff. Instead of accepting the way you look, the way the Most High made you, you want to conform to Babylon's beauty standards. The Most High made you in his own way, and he said it was good. And you've allowed Babylon to sink their hands into your brain and indoctrinate you that you should be looking like this. I want you to look like this. You can't wear your hair like that at my job. No. You better straighten that hair out. We don't want no braids up in here. We don't want no locks up in here. Y'all have seen it. We had to get Congress to pass the Crown Act. And even then, the heathens still do not take that seriously. You are still getting picked on because of your hair, to the point where now our women say, you know what, I'm just going to wear Becky hair. Whoops. Ooh. We better than that, family. We got the best hair on earth. The best hair on the earth. They can't get like our hair. They want our hair so bad. You got the goddamn gone Koreans out there trying to look like us. They trying to afro their hair. They trying to put texture to their hair. They trying. And you trying to straighten your hair. You trying to remove the texture from your hair. Most High is like, You got to see yourself in the mirror. And you got to be like, you know what? I'm a child of the Most High, y'all. I am happy with what I see. He created all this diversity within our nation. We got all the way from the light skins all the way to the dark skins. We got fairer hair and we got textured hair. We got it all over in our community. All different types. But we all trying to look like the heathen. Understand, you are beautiful just the way you are, that the Most High made you. You just got to be the one to see it. He created us to be diverse, family. He don't want us to all look alike. He wants you to be diverse. Accept what you got. Don't allow anybody else to tell you different. This is what the Most High wants you to understand here. And you got the cattle after their kind. But these cattle, family, symbolize those of us who've been domesticated by Babylon's system, working day in and day out like oxen under a yoke. How do we know this? Let's go to Jeremiah 31 and 18. 31 and 18, and I will read. And family, it reads, I have surely heard Ephraim bemoaning himself thus. Thou hast chastised me, and I was chastised as a bullock unaccustomed to the yoke. Turn thou me, and I shall be turned, for thou art the Lord my God. So here's a question to chew your cud on, Israel. Are we content being Babylon's cattle, or are we ready to break the yoke and return to our true shepherd? That's a real good question. Y'all content being Babylon slaves, cattle, that they can just beat whenever they want to, that they can brand whenever they feel like it, treat you just like a beast of the field? Are y'all content with that kind of treatment? Or you guys finally ready to say, you know what? Forget that. I'm going back to the Christ. Why do you think the Most High is allowing this to happen? He's trying to get you to turn back to him. He's trying to get you to see that, hey, this is brutal treatment. Let me go back to my Father, who said his yoke is easy and his burden is light. Uh-oh. That's why he's allowing all these tribulations to happen to you. He's trying to get you to realize, hey, you know what? I don't like this. I'm going back to the Most High. That's why he's got you going through all this stuff, family. There ain't no coincidence in all this stuff. And we got the creeping thing here that creepeth upon the earth. It ain't just about bugs and reptiles, family. These represent those of us who have been brought low, as I said before. Brought low. Get low, 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 low. Sorry about that. Crawling in the dust of oppression and slavery. But remember, even in our lowest state, we're still part of the Most High's plan. Watch this. Micah 7. Our brother Micah 7 and 17 prophesies. Again, that's Micah 7 and 17, whenever you ready, brother.
They shall lick the dust like a serpent. They shall move out of their holes like worms of the earth. They shall be afraid of the Lord our God and shall fear because of thee.
So I gotta ask, are we still crawling in the dust of our enemies, or are we ready to stand up and shake off the dirt of our captivity? Your choice, Israel. If you content with being somebody else's boy, hey, that's on you. But for us who are done with the nonsense, who are done with the humiliation, we stand up, we dust ourselves off, and we go to Yah and we follow him. These heathen got no control over your family unless you let them. That's the truth. It's all an illusion. Their control is all an illusion built on a foundation of sand, and it's slipping, and you can tell because they're trying to hold on tighter and tighter. They're trying to grip us tighter and tighter because they're about to fall over, family. The Most High is about to bring in that stone and crack that Nebuchadnezzar statue. He about to do it right on them feet, them toes. That's where we at right now. We on the toes. We getting close. And now we got the fowl after his kind, after every bird of every sort. This isn't about a heavenly bird sanctuary, family. These fowls and birds represent those Israelites who have been scattered to the winds, living high and mighty in foreign lands, as I said before, thinking they have escaped their heritage. Well, how do we know this? Well, if we go to Hosea 9 and 11, Hosea warns us here. Again, that's Hosea 9 in verse number 11.
As for Ephraim, their glory shall fly away like a bird from the birth, and from the womb, and from the conception.
Most High is saying, Israel, your glory will fly away like birds. Your women will no longer be able to give birth. Wow. And then I'll just add the next one, the next verse. Even if you do have children, I will take them all and leave you to mourn. I will turn away and you will sink down in deep trouble. Woo! Ain't that what's happening today? You got children, the Most High taking them all, leaving us to mourn. Woo! 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 I tell you, this word is deep. It hurts. It's harsh. It hits you like a hammer. But if you are righteous, you don't got to worry about this stuff here. If you are treating your kids like the blessing they are, and you are teaching them this word, the Most High ain't going to take them away from you. That's just facts. So he's trying to warn you away from this type of behavior here. So here's a thought to nest on. Are we soaring on the wings of our true identity, or are we still trying to fly with the vultures of this world system? That's something to think about, Israel. And so again, they went in unto Noah in the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh. Again, this 2 and 2 business is not about Noah's ark, nursery rhyme. Watch. The duality of our nation, as I said before, the 2 kingdoms of Israel. But it's also about the completeness of our redemption, male and female, young and old, rich and poor, all Israel shall be saved, like Paul says in Romans 11 and 26. Romans 11 and 26. What does Paul declare here, my brother?
And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
So the question becomes, are we ready to come together? That's key. Are we ready to come together as one united Israel, or are we still divided, fighting over who's got the best flavor of Hebrewism? Who the best Hebrew? Who got the best doctrine? Who got the best camp? This is what we fighting over. Wherein is the breath of life. The final kicker. This breath of life, family, is the Ruach, the spirit of the Most High that makes us a living nation. It's what separates us from the spiritually dead nations around us. Ezekiel 37 and 5 prophesies this, family. I'm telling you, all of this is about you. It's all about you, family. Every detail of this Noah's Ark story, you are all in it. And I'm showing it to you. I hope it's making sense. Ezekiel 37 and 5, what does it say about this breath, family? Or brother?
Thus saith the Lord God unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live.
So let me hit you with this, family. Are we living, breathing testimonies of the Most High's covenant, or are we spiritual zombies walking dead in a Babylonian graveyard? Something to mull over. So this passage, family, is showing us the comprehensive nature of Israel's redemption. Just like the ark contained all types of creatures, the Most High's plan of salvation includes all types of Israelites, from the highest to the lowest, from the most righteous to those who have strayed the furthest. Oh, I would know about that. Here's the kicker. Just like all these creatures had to enter the ark to be saved, we've got to enter into covenant relationship with the Most High to experience our redemption. There is no salvation outside the ark of his promises. Family, we're living in times that are wilder than the zoo during a power outage. And the flood of judgment is rising faster than Pharaoh's blood pressure during the plagues. The question is, are we answering the call to enter the ark, or are we still trying to build our own rafts of self-righteousness? Remember, when the flood of tribulation fully hits, there won't be no animal shelters for stray Israelites, no wildlife preserves for wandering Hebrews, and definitely no pet stores selling last-minute arks. You're either in the covenant or you're going extinct in the flood of judgment. It's time to recognize our true identity, Israel. Gather with our people and enter into the ark of his promises. The waters are rising, the predators are prowling, and the ark door is about to slam shut. I'm telling you, It's time to get in or get washed away. So Israel, are you ready to board the Ark of Redemption? Are you going to try to weather the storm in your own little bird cage of false security? The choice is yours, but remember, in the Most High's zoological salvation plan, there's no room for lone wolves or stray cats. You're either in the ark with your people or you're fish food in the flood. So don't get left behind when the real flood hits, family, thinking you can doggy paddle your way to redemption, because you will not be able to do it. The Most High is making this very clear. One way in, one way out. Which one are you? Are you going to finally go in, or are you going to stay outside? So we keep it moving. 16 and 17. We getting there.
And they went in male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him. And the Lord shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth.
So they went in, male and female. Again, this male and female business is about the completion, the completeness of Israel's redemption. The Most High ain't leaving nobody behind. He's saving the whole family. How do we know? Let's go to Isaiah 43, 6 and 7. 6 and 7 of Isaiah 43. 7, there are y'all, men and women.
I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from far, and my daughters from the ends of the earth. Even every one that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him. Yeah, I have made him.
So let me ask you this. Are we embracing the fullness of our nation? Men, women, and children? Or are we still playing favorites like Jacob with Joseph? Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big question right there, family. So they all went in as God had commanded them. That's the next section. It's not about Simon Says, family. This is about obedience to the Most High's instructions. As I told you before, Noah did not argue, didn't question, didn't try to add his own little DIY touches to the ark. He just did what he was told. Deuteronomy 28 and 1 reminds us of this. It reminds us of this. Again, that's Deuteronomy 28 and 1. What does it say?
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Woo! Woo! Did that ark get lifted up above the earth? Ooh. Made a connection. Just like the Most High gonna set thee high on above all nations on the earth. Just like the ark was set above the earth. Ooh! Y'all see it? Please tell me you see it. Please tell me I ain't the only one. Come on. Right there. So here's a thought to flood your mind, family. Are we following the Most High's blueprint for our lives? Or are we still trying to renovate his perfect plan with our janky ideas? But watch this. The Lord shut him in. Uh-oh. This is about divine protection and separation. Once Noah and his family were in, ain't nobody else getting in, family. And ain't nothing getting to them. What does Psalm 31 and 20 say? Speaks on this point I just made. That protection. Psalm 31, and verse 20.
Thou shalt hide them in the secret of thy presence from the pride of man. Thou shalt keep them secretly in the pavilion from the strife of tongues.
Most High is saying, or David is saying, you are their shelter from harmful plots, and you are their protection from vicious gossip. He protects us, family, from all these different things that's happening in the earth. That's why you got faith in him. That's why he's our refuge and our tower of defense. We hide behind him. Yes, sir. He protects us from all the things that's going on here. Now, he may allow you to go through some things, but he ain't giving you something that you cannot overcome. The Most High is not a sadist. So I ask to you, are we allowing the Most High to shut us in his protection? Or are we leaving the door open for every worldly influence to flood in? And again, the flood was 40 days upon the earth. There's that 40 again. It keeps on coming back. We all know what it is. These 40 days represent a period of trial and purification again. The Most High was washing away the old to make way for the new, as we already read earlier about that sprinkling of clean water, cleaning you away from your filthiness and from all your idols. So are we using our times of trial today to get cleansed and purified? Or again, are we just complaining about getting our feet wet? And the waters increased and bear up the ark. This is about how the very thing that destroyed the wicked became the means of salvation for the righteous. The flood that drowned the world lifted Noah to safety. Again, our brother Isaiah, in that same chapter 43, we read verse 2. I tell you, family, we are all over this book. All over. What does the Most High promise here in 43 and 2 of Isaiah?
When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee.
So are we seeing our trials as tools for our elevation, or are we too busy crying about the storm to notice we're being lifted up? And finally, it was lifted above the earth. I already told you about that earlier. This lifting up is about separation and exaltation. While the world was sinking, Noah and his family was rising. Watch what the Most High declares in Deuteronomy 28 and 13, as most of us are probably aware. Deuteronomy 28 and 13. Very simple.
And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day, to observe and to do them.
So are we allowing the Most High to lift us above the world system, or are we still trying to dog paddle in the flood of Babylon's influence? So family, this passage is showing us a perfect plan of the Most High for Israel's redemption. Just like Noah and his family were being called to enter covenant, to obey without question, and to allow the Most High to shut us in his protection. We being called to do this, family. The very trials and tribulations that are drowning the world are meant to lift us up. The flood ain't for our destruction, it's for our elevation. The question is, are we in the Ark of Covenant, ready to be lifted up, or are we still trying to build these sandcastles on the beach of destruction? Remember, this flood is going to hit, and when it does, as I said before, over and over again, there is no lifeboats, no lifeguards, no swimming lessons. You're going to be gone. So it's time for us to recognize our calling, enter into covenant obedience, and allow the Most High to shut us in his protection. So are you ready to rise above the flood in the Ark of Redemption, or are you going to try to ride out the storm in your own little surfboard of self-reliance? This is what we got to do, fam. This is what the Most High wants us to do. We keep it moving, though. 18 and 19. Y'all seeing it now? Is the picture becoming clearer?
And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went up upon the face of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered.
The waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth. This is about the overwhelming nature of the Most High's judgment. When he decides to clean house, family, he don't mess around with no feather duster. He brings the whole flood. Again, we go back to our brother Isaiah. I know we in his book a lot today, but he warns us here in Isaiah 28 and 17. Again, that is Isaiah 28 and 17. What does he say?
Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place.
What Isaiah is trying to say here is that justice and fairness will be the measuring lines that help me build. Hailstones and floods will destroy and wash away your shelter of lies. So he uses this water to wash away all this wickedness, these lies, these sins, all of this stuff. So I ask, are we ready for the flood of truth to wash away all our lies and deceptions? Or are we still trying to hide behind the leaky umbrella of false doctrines? We still got people who believe in these crazy doctrines out here, even though they're in the truth. Leaky umbrellas. So the ark went upon the face of the waters. This is about how the Most High's protection keeps us above the chaos, not drowning in it. While the world is sinking, we sailing. We cruising, y'all. We just chilling. We on the deck, feet up, we chilling. If we go to Psalm 32, 6 and 7, it declares it here in these two verses, what I just said. Again, at Psalms 32, 6 and 7.
For this shall everyone that is godly pray unto thee in a time when thou mayest be found. Surely in the floods of great waters, they shall not come nigh unto him. Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me in trouble, from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance, Selah.
Psalms is saying here, the psalmist is saying, we worship you, Lord, and we should always pray whenever we find out that we have sinned. Then we won't be swept away by a raging flood. You are my hiding place. You protect me from trouble, and you put songs in my heart because you have saved me. Just like Noah, just like us, who take heed to build this spiritual ark and to get into this ark of covenant with him. We will not be swept away by this raging flood, family, but you got to do your part. So here's a thought to float your boat. Are we riding above the floods of this world in the Ark of Covenant? Or are we still doggy paddling in the polluted world and waters of Babylon's influence? So the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth. This is about complete and total dominance of the Most High's will. When he decides to move, ain't nothing and nobody can stand in his way. And our boy Daniel reminds us this. One of my favorite scriptures to remind you who run this thing. Daniel 4 and 35. Again, Daniel 4 and 35.
And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he doth according to his will in the army of heaven, and among the inhabitants of the earth, and none can stay his hand or say unto them, what dost thou?
So are you aligning yourselves with the unstoppable will of the Most High? Or are you still trying to swim against the current of his divine plan? You ain't gonna win that fight, family. You better go with the flow. You're going to drown in the other one. Trust me. You can't fight the Most High's plan. It's going to happen, whether you want it to or not. So all the high hills that were under the heaven were covered What are these hills talking about? These high hills, family, represent the prideful nations, these nations around us, these haughty kingdoms, the arrogant empires that think they're untouchable. But guess what? The Most High's judgment don't discriminate. It covers everything. Again, we go back to Isaiah. We keep going back there. Isaiah 2 and 14. What does he say? Again, Isaiah 2 and 14.
And upon all the high mountains and upon all the hills that are lifted up.
So here's a question to rain on your parade. Are we still trying to climb the mountains of worldly success and fame? Or are we ready to humble ourselves and float in the ark of covenant obedience? Which one are you, family? These verses are showing us the absolute, I repeat, absolute sovereignty of the Most High in judgment and salvation. Just like the flood covered everything on earth, there ain't no place to hide from the Most High's plan, whether it's from judgment or redemption. While everything else is being covered and drowned, the ark, symbolizing Israel and covenant, is riding high above it all. The very waters that are destroying the world are lifting us up. Lifting us up, family. Lifting us up. Remember this. You got to recognize your call in Israel. Enter into covenant obedience and allow the Most High to lift us up above the rising tide of this world's madness. The waters are covering everything. The prideful nations are sinking. And the ark is the only safe place left. I'm telling you, get in this ark today. Today. Don't wait. Today. Start being obedient today, or you're going to get left behind like everybody else. You're either sailing in the ark or you're sinking with the rest. The waters are prevailing, but we ain't drowning. We're sailing. So are you ready to be the captain of your soul and let the Most High be the admiral of your destiny? Or are you still playing in the kiddie pool of compromise, thinking you can avoid the flood? The waters are rising, family. It's time to sink or sail. 19 and 20, brother. We almost done, family. Almost done.
And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered.
So we already told you about that waters prevail exceedingly upon the earth. Overwhelming, unstoppable nature of the Most High's judgment. He's bringing the whole ocean. He's not bringing them up in the bucket, family. He's destroying it all. If we go over to Amos 9 and 6, Amos declares this. Again, that's Amos chapter 9, verse 6. What does it say, brother?
It is he that buildeth his stories in the heaven, and hath founded his troop in the earth. He that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name.
Amos is saying he built his palace in the heavens, talking about the Most High, and let its foundations rest on the earth. He scoops up the ocean and empties it out on the earth. His name is the Lord. Do you see how powerful this man is? So I ask, are we ready for the flood of truth to wash away all our compromises and half-step commitments? Or are we still trying to stay dry in a leaky boat of lukewarm faith? Don't be lukewarm, family. Please don't be that. You can be hot or cold, but please don't be lukewarm. And all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. We already told you what the high hills was. We already told you about them. But what is the Most High going to do to these people again? Isaiah, back to Isaiah again, 2 and 12.
For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and on everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low.
You ready to humble yourself now, Israel? Because if you ain't humble, you're going to be part of this. You thinking you all that in a bag of chips, the Most High going to do something to you. Humble yourself. It's the only way you can follow him. It's the only way he gonna work with you. If you humble, if you are teachable, if you can accept reproof, rebuke, and correction. This is what it's about. Now we see these 15 cubits. The number 15 in scripture often represents rest and deliverance. I want to talk about this 15. I want to try to show you these numbers here, because they mean stuff. So this 15 here, in the context of this flood, it's no coincidence or random number the Most High pulled out of his heavenly hat here. So first off, let's break down this number 15. In Hebrew numerology, it's represented by two Hebrew letters, the Yod, which is 10, and the Hey, which is H-E-H, which is 5. Now pay attention, because this is where it gets good. These two letters spell out Yah, not lying. It spells out Yah, one of the sacred names of the Most High. So right off the bat, we're seeing his signature all over this flood. But wait, there's more. Let's look at some other significant 15s in scripture. If we go over to Exodus 27, real quick, Exodus 27. I'm teaching y'all today, boy. I am teaching y'all. I hope y'all are getting this.
Let me guess, 15.
14 and 15. A little bit more context.
The hangings of one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And on the other side shall be hangings 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3.
So the courtyard of the tabernacles had hangings of 15 cubits on each side of the entrance. This represents entering into the presence of the Most High. Woo-hoo-hoo. But wait, there's more. 2 Kings 20 and 6. Again, that's 2 Kings 20 and 6. See another 15.
And I will add unto thy days 15 years, and I will deliver thee and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria. And I will defend this city for mine own sake and for my servant David's sake.
So Hezekiah, that's who's being talked about here. Hezekiah was given 15 additional years of life after praying to the Most High. That's divine extension and deliverance. But wait, one more. Hosea 3 and 2. Again, Hosea 3 and 2.
So I bought her to me for 15 pieces of silver, and for a homer of barley, and a half homer of barley.
So the prophet brought back his wife for 15 pieces of silver, which symbolizes the Most High's redemption of Israel in that particular verse. Now here's where it gets real interesting, family. The 15th day of the 7th month begins what? The Feast of Tabernacles. A time of what? Rejoicing and remembering the Most High's deliverance of Israel from Egypt. We can read that, Leviticus 23 and 34. So you can see all these things have a meaning. You just got to go on a goose hunt to find it. Again, it's a Leviticus 23 and 34 to show you. So I ain't just making it up.
Speaking to the children of Israel, saying, the 15th day of the 7th month shall be on the Feast of Tabernacles for 7 days unto the Lord.
See the connection. The flood waters rising 15 cubits ain't just about destruction, family. It's about the Most High's deliverance and our ultimate rest in him. But wait, another one, a bonus one. Remember, Noah's Ark came to rest on the 17th day of the 7th month. That's going to be in the next chapter, Genesis 8 and 4. That's just 2 days after the start of what will become the Feast of Tabernacles. Coincidence? I think not. So what does this mean, family? It means, even in the midst of judgment, the Most High is setting the stage for our deliverance. Just like he used the flood waters to lift Noah's Ark above destruction, he's using the trials and tribulations of this world today to elevate us into his presence. The question is, are we recognizing these signs of deliverance? Are we preparing ourselves for the ultimate Feast of Tabernacles, when we'll dwell with the Most High in perfect harmony? Or are we too busy trying to measure the rising waters with the faulty rulers of this world? So that's the 15. Is it making sense? Most High signature all over this. That's like his little signature right there. The Yod and the Hey, spell his name. Ain't that crazy? So that's what it's about, family. The Most High is going to destroy all these other nations while rising us up. This is what's happening right now. That's why these other nations are scared right now. They anxious to try to kill you because they know what's happening. They know the script is about to flip. The tables are about to be turned, and you are about to be the head, and they're going to be the tail, and they don't want that. They would rather kill themselves than be our servants. So we got to recognize this, family. We got to understand we rising right now. Yeah, you're going through some crap right now, but guess what? You rising. We rising. 21 and 22, brother. Almost done.
And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle and of beast, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man. All in whose was the breath of life, and of all that was in the dry land died.
So all flesh died that moved upon the earth. The Most High's judgment on all that's corrupted by sin. When he decides to clean house, he don't just sweep under the rug, family. He floods the whole dang building, as you just saw. And it's what he's going to do again this time around. Zephaniah warns us, if we go to Zephaniah 1. Zephaniah 1, 2, and 3. What does Zephaniah warn us about?
And I will utterly consume all things from off the land, saith the Lord. I will consume man and beast. I will consume the fowls of the heaven and of the fishes of the sea, and the stumbling blocks of the wicked, and I will cut off man from off the land, saith the Lord.
Y'all see that? So are we ready for the Most High to purge everything that ain't in line with his will from our lives? Are we ready for that? Or are we still trying to keep some pet sins in our spiritual Noah's Ark? You can't bring sin with your family. You got to repent fully. You can't be walking tiptoeing on both sides. You're either in this thing or you out. So everything died. Fowl, cattle, beast, every creeping thing that creepeth on the earth. And again, these creatures represent different aspects of sinful nature. You got the fowls here are pride and arrogance. The cattle, stubbornness and rebellion. The beasts are our wild, uncontrolled passions. And them creeping things, that's the sneaky, slimy sins that we think nobody notices. Paul alluded to all of this if we go to Romans 1 and 23. He calls out this foolishness right here. Again, that's Romans 1 and 23.
And change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds, and to four-footed beasts, and creeping things.
Here's what Paul is saying. Instead of honoring the divine greatness of the Most High Yah, who lives forever, they traded it for the worship of idols, things made to look like humans, who get sick and die, or like birds, animals, and snakes. So the Most High killed all that. And I already told you what they represent. All of those fleshly things. So here's a thought to ruffle your feathers. Are we allowing the Most High to drown out these aspects of our sinful nature? Or are we still feeding and petting them like they're emotional support animals? You got to let go of the sin, family. You can't hold on to the sin. You got to throw it in the garbage. You got to let the Most High purge it if you want him to work in your life. You got to let it go. And he says, in every man as well. Not just those beasts, but every man. Which is about the judgment of what? On the old man. The old man. What's the old man? The sinful nature that we inherited from Adam. The same one that Paul talked about and alluded to. If we go to Ephesians 4:22. This is the man that the Most High killing. Symbolically here. This is what he's killing. Ephesians 4:22.
That ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts.
Paul is saying you were taught to leave your old self. This means that you should stop living the evil way you lived before. That old self gets worse and worse because people are fooled by the evil they want to do. They think they're doing good, but they're doing evil. So the Most High is killing this old man. That's what he's saying it right here. He's killing off the old man. So he asks you, are you allowing your old sinful nature to drown in the waters of baptism and repentance? Or are we still trying to give it swimming lessons? You got to let go of the old man. The Most High don't want it. Let it go. You got to follow the fruits of the Spirit. When you do that, you will forsake the lust of the flesh. Most High said, all in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died, which is about the Most High reclaiming what's his. He gave the breath of life, and he can take it away when it's misused. The book of Job talks about this. If we go to Job 34:14 and 15. Again, that's Job 34:14 and 15.
If he set his heart upon man, if he gather unto himself his spirit and his breath, all flesh shall perish together, and man shall turn again unto dust.
Wow. So here's a question to take your breath away. Are we using the life the Most High gave us to serve his purpose? Or are we just wasting air in this Babylonian system? So let's piece all of this together. This passage, these verses, are showing us the thoroughness of the Most High's judgment. There's nothing and nobody escaping. When he decides it's cleanup time. This ain't about just some ancient flood. It's a prophetic picture of the judgment coming on this wicked world system. Just like in Noah's day, the Most High is about to wash everything away that ain't in line with his will. The proud fowls of worldly wisdom, they're about to become chicken soup. The stubborn cattle of rebellion say hello to divine hamburger. The wild beasts of uncontrolled passion, they're heading for extinction. And all them sneaking, creeping sins we thought we could hide, they're about to get pressure washed out of existence. So are we in this Ark of Covenant, riding above this coming flood of judgment, family? Or are we still playing in the mud with the world, thinking we can weather the storm on our own? The waters of judgment are coming, family. But we ain't drowning, we floating. So are you ready to be the spiritual scuba diver of righteousness and let the Most High be the ultimate lifeguard of your soul? Or are you still playing Marco Polo in the pool of compromise, thinking you can avoid the flood? It's time to sink or swim in covenant obedience, family. There's no more. There's no more, I think I'm going to do it. I could probably do that. Nope. You're either in it or you're out. Just like your mama used to tell you, you either in my house or out of my house. Can't keep coming in and out my door. That's what the Most High is saying here. If you get anything out of this lesson today, obedience. You either with Yah or you without Yah. And we finish it up on the last verses. 23 and 24, my brother.
And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven, and they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days.
Boom, shakalaka. Every living substance was destroyed. This is about the Most High's complete and utter obliteration of everything that ain't in line with his will. He bringing a wrecking ball, family. Bringing a wrecking ball, he's finna destroy it all. Isaiah prophesies about this in Isaiah 24 and 1. Isaiah 24 and 1, what does the Most High say?
Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof.
So are we ready for the Most High to demolish everything in our lives that ain't built on the foundation of his truth? Or are we still trying to salvage some worldly trinkets from the rising flood of judgments? Let the old life go, family. Let it go. Both man and cattle and the creeping thing and the fowl of the heaven. Most High wiping out every aspect of corrupted creation, from the highest to the lowest. Man's prideful intellect, the stubbornness of cattle, the sneaky sins that creep, and even the high-flying arrogance of worldly wisdom, all of it is going down. Jeremiah paints this picture very well in this verse. If we go to Jeremiah 4:25. Jeremiah 4:25. What does it say, brother?
I beheld, and lo, there was no man, and all the birds of the heavens were fled.
So are we allowing the Most High to purge every aspect of our lives, family? Or are we still trying to keep some worldly pets in our spiritual menagerie? Are you letting go of the old life? Are you letting it go? The Most High wants you to let it go. See, they was destroyed, and Noah only remained alive in the people that was with him. This ain't just about destruction. It's about preservation. The Most High wiped out everything, but he kept a remnant safe in the ark. Sound familiar? It should, because that's exactly what he's doing with Israel. Back to Isaiah, my homie. Isaiah 10:22. Man, I love this word. Isaiah 10:22. Check it out.
For though thy people Israel be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness.
So are we positioning ourselves to be a part of that preserved remnant? Or are we still playing patty cake, thinking we can survive the flood on our own? You won't, trust me. And then the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days. We gonna take a look at this. 150. The number 150 is deeply significant. It's 3, which is divine perfection, multiplied by 50, which is jubilee and restoration. So let's look at this 3 real quick. Let's look at this 3. Because that's 3 times 50. So what do we got in 3? 3 represents divine perfection and completeness. We see it all over the place. Jesus rose on the 3rd day, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights. But also, Hosea prophesies this. If we go to Hosea 6:2. Again, that's Hosea 6:2.
After 2 days, he will revive us. In the 3rd day, he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight.
See that? The 3rd day is all about resurrection and restoration. Now let's look at 50. This number screams Jubilee, louder than the shofar on Yom Kippur. The year of Jubilee came every 50 years, and it was about restoration, liberation, and setting things right. If we turn our books over to Leviticus 25:10, it lays it all out here of what happens on the Jubilee. Again, that's Leviticus 25:10.
And ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you. And ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family.
So when we multiply 3, divine perfection, by 50, jubilee and restoration, what do we get? A divine, perfect restoration that's so complete, it'll make your head spin faster than a top on Hanukkah. But wait, there's more. Let's look at some other 150s in scripture. Psalm 150 is the final psalm, a crescendo of praise, concluding the entire book. It's like the Most High is saying, this is what perfect restoration looks like, non-stop praise. The Ark of Noah was 300 cubits long. That's 2 times 150. The Most High is saying, I'm doubling down on this restoration plan. So we bring it home to our flood narrative. The waters prevail for 150 days, right? That's not a long bath, folks. It's the Most High saying, I'm wiping the slate clean for a perfect restoration. So after these 150 days, what happened? The ark rested on Mount Ararat. That's right. The journey from judgment to new beginnings took exactly 150 days. Do you see the pattern? 150 days of flood, then rest, and a new beginning. The Most High hit a divine reset button. So what's this mean for us today, family, to bring all of this home? It means that even in the midst of judgment, the Most High is setting the stage for our perfect restoration. Just like he used those 150 days to transition from a corrupt world to a fresh start for Noah, he's using our current trials to prepare us for a divine reset. The question is, are we recognizing these signs of restoration in our current flood? Are we counting the days with anticipation, knowing that our Jubilee is just around the corner? Or are we too busy complaining about the rain to realize we're being cleansed for a comeback? It's time to wake up, Israel. The waters of judgment may be rising, but so is our arc of restoration. The number 150 ain't just some random figure. It's a divine countdown to our perfect redemption. So let me ask you this. Are you preparing for your Jubilee? Or are you still trying to salvage your waterlogged possessions from this sinking world? Are you counting the days to restoration? Or are you too busy counting your losses? Remember, when the Most High brings this flood, he's also bringing the ark and the rainbow. Are you looking for the signs of his perfect restoration plan, or are you still trying to weather this storm with worldly wisdom? Wake up, get ready, and let's start anticipating our coming Jubilee. The flood waters are rising, but so is our Ark of Covenant. It's time to get on board with the Most High's restoration plan or get left behind in the rising tide of judgment. The 150 days are ticking, y'all. Are you ready for their divine reset, your perfect restoration, your heavenly Jubilee? Because let me tell you, when the Most High's alarm clock hits 150, you better be ready for the ultimate wake-up call. The flood is temporary, but the restoration is eternal. Are you counting down to calamity, or are you calculating your comeback? The choice is yours. But remember, in the Most High's timetable, 150 ain't just a number. It's a promise of perfect restoration. So let's start praising like it's Psalm 150, because our jubilation is just around the corner. And with that, I end my lesson. All praises and great glory to the Most High Yah for giving me this wisdom to bestow upon your spiritual ears today. I hope you guys were spiritually edified in this lesson. And y'all willing, I'll see y'all again next week. Shalom.